Yes, let's start the session. So this is the first demo lecture of Python full stack development. Python full stack web development. Okay. So in this session, I'm going to give a basic demonstration of Python full stack development, especially if you want to become a Python full stack developer, what subjects you need to learn. And each subject purpose also I'll explain clearly step by step. Okay, all the details I'll keep in front of you in this session. So first of all, in Python full stack development, total 6 subjects I'm going to cover. So subject number 1 is Python. It's mandatory for all. Subject number 2 is Django. Subject number 3, REST API. And then 4, Flask. 5th, UI basics. That is HTML plus CSS plus JavaScript plus jQuery plus Bootstrap. So these are all the subjects which I'm going to cover. 6th one is database tools. That is SQLite 3 and MySQL. So these total 6 subjects I'm going to cover in Python full stack web development process. Okay. Do you want to become really Python full stack web developer? You must and should learn all these 6 subjects. Or else some students are looking for only Python, like core Python, like basic Python, as well as advanced Python. Core means basic and advanced means advanced level of programming. We will be covered that. I'll clearly mention that. So only who are looking core and advanced Python, okay? Apart from this Django, REST API, Flask, UI basics, and SQLite 3. I'll try to show you who should go with only Python, like core and advanced. Who should go with complete Python full stack development subject, like total 6 subjects, whatever I have listed out here. I'll discuss, okay? After learning Python, your requirement is to move towards data science or data engineering or data analysis programming or AI or ML. This area, AWS, DevOps. If you are looking forward these areas, what I mentioned like data science, data analysis, data engineering, AI, ML, AWS, DevOps, these areas you are looking forward after learning Python. For them, I strongly recommend only Python core and advanced enough. They don't need to learn remaining subjects which I mentioned, like Django, REST API, Flask, all these things. Okay, fine. Next, if you are not having any plan to move towards data science or data analysis or AWS, DevOps, AML, completely do you want to become a full stack developer? And do you want to develop any websites or web applications or business applications completely using full stack development? Then go for complete all subjects. Once if you go through full stack development also, after that you can move to any direction like data science, data analysis, AWS, DevOps, and so on. Okay, not a problem. But only Python core and advanced Python duration is up to 2 months. Means 50 working days to 60 days it will take to complete. Only Python if you are looking core and advanced Python. And if you are looking complete full stack development duration is 4 months minimum. Yes, complete full stack duration, including 3 frameworks like Django, REST API, Flask, including UI basics, SQLite 3, MySQL, all complete full stack development subjects. I'll be covered in 4 months minimum, 4.5 months maximum, sir. So this is duration of the course. And every day session is going to be 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's called fixed time, no changes in timing. And Monday to Saturday sessions are going to be happen. Only Sunday is the holiday. And every session is going to be recorded. The same recorded session video we will upload to your Google Drive, that is lifetime access. And each and every subject material like Python, PDF, Django, PDF, REST API, PDF, soft copy of material we will send to your Gmail or an email. Okay, right. So this is our basic information which I am giving. Now let's come to the discussion of each and every subject, because if you are looking for full stack development subjects, you must and should aware each and every subject purpose, sir, so that you will get clarity. What purpose we are using Python and what is the purpose of Django, REST API, Flask, all these things we'll discuss. Okay, yes. So first we'll talk about Python. What is Python here? See, sir, out of all these 6 subjects, you are going to learn only one programming language, which is Python only. Okay, only one language, that is Python. Remaining all are not languages. I'll tell you what are that. Okay. So first of all, what is Python means? Python is a programming language. Yes, it is a programming language which is used to write, coding part for the application development. Coding part for the application development only. Yes, do you want to develop any application, software application? You need to write some logics or coding, right? That coding part we are going to develop by using Python language only. So Python is a programming language which is used to write coding part for the application development. Okay, fine. What about Django or Django? Here D is a silent. We can call it as Django also. And remember these all three, Django, REST API, Flask, these are not a languages. These are just frameworks. Okay. That too, these three are Python based frameworks, sir. Python based framework. Let me talk about one by one. So what is Django means? Django is a framework. Django is a framework which is used to write, which is used to develop the web applications. It is used to develop the web applications. So Django is a framework which is used to develop the web applications. What is web application? Very simple. The application which will provide the services, over the web is called web applications. Okay, the application which will provide the services over the web or internet is called web applications. And Django is a Python based web development framework. It is a Python based web development framework. Why? Because Django is completely written in Python language. It is completely written in which language? Means Python language only. So by writing Python language code, they developed a framework called Django. So that's what Django is, a Python based web development framework. And Django can understand only Python instructions, not other programming language instructions. Okay. So that's what we are calling it is Python based web development framework. And the prerequisite subject of Django is Python. To start learn of Django, compulsory you should have the knowledge of Python. If you don't have knowledge of Python, we don't really recommend to start learn Django. Yes, compulsory. So Django is completely depend on Python only. And if you want to start learn Python, Django, you must and should aware of Python already. So that is the prerequisite knowledge, Python. But you may ask to learn Python, what are the prerequisite subject means? I can say there is no prerequisite subjects. That means there is no prior knowledge is required to learn Python, because I'm saying that Python is a basic language. To learn this basic language, again, no basics are required, I mean to say that. Okay, it's a basic language. So that's the reason no basic language is required to learn Python. Even so many students ask me to start learn Python, is there any background or qualifications are required like IT background, CSC background or BTech or MCA? Nothing. No. Any degree candidate can able to learn any software course nowadays. Only the skills are mandatory. How the way you are learning is important. How the way you are understanding the concept is important. Okay. So that is a must and should required. And to learn Python, no prior skills are required. Okay. If you have already skills related to C language, C++, not the problem that is. And next, REST API. See, sir, Django framework through we can develop web applications. Web application means online applications, what we are using in our day-to-day activities like Amazon, okay, Facebook, Twitter, Insta, banking applications. All our online applications are web application only. That social media web application, e-commerce websites that we can build using Django framework also. Like it's a framework. So what is framework means? Framework is nothing but it's a collection of built-in libraries. Okay. Here, what is a framework? What is a framework? Framework means, framework means, framework means collection of, built-in libraries. Collection of built-in libraries. Each library contains some built-in functionality. Means already they predefined. They implemented lots of code with the help of libraries. So framework means collection of built-in libraries. Using this built-in libraries, what they offer to the developers, they can start writing the code. So ultimately, I can say frameworks will provide a lot of built-in libraries. These are ready-made resources for the application development. Ready-made resources means readily available and use that resources in your application. And not prepared. We need not to prepare it. So if there is no frameworks and we need to prepare ourselves, like it will take a lot of time, right? So already they provide the built-in libraries. By using these libraries, we can start development of application. That makes faster rate of application implementation is possible. So, and also framework is having some set of rules and specifications. Suppose Django framework is there. This framework is used to develop web-based application based on Python script. And you are using Django framework means Django framework, what rules and regulations it's giving, then same rules you have to follow while implementing. So rules and regulations are fixed. You can't change them. Okay. So all the rules and regulations and specifications, by following it, by using the libraries which will provide by Django, then we can implement web application. As soon as Django framework installed in your machine or computer, you will get plenty of web-based libraries which will be helpful to implement web applications. And after completion of learning Django, next extension framework is there. Everybody must and should learn once you are in the full stack development part. That is another framework like REST API. So what is REST API? I'll tell you first. See, sir, REST means representational state transfer. REST stands for representational state transfer. Okay. Representational state transfer. REST means. API stands for Application Programming Interface. Application Programming Interface. API means. REST means representational state transfer. API means application state transfer only. Okay. See, what is the purpose of API also, I'll tell you that. But suppose in real time, if you are using Flipkart.com website, for generally Flipkart.com website, for what purpose we use, sir? To order the items. Okay. So after selecting the item, when we try to place the order, and you have to do the some options like payment options, something like that. And once you click on the payment for your product, then that you are going to redirect to banking website, right? Because which bank you have selected, credit card, debit card, net banking, like that. From Flipkart application to bank application is going to be connect. And after that credentials, you have to make the payment and response will give back to the flipkart.com website. If you observe closely here, two applications are communicating with each other, right? Like flipkart.com website, one application, one web application, it's communicating with your concerned banking application. So these two applications or more application communication with each other, it is possible with API, I'm saying. That's what APIs are very, very important in real time, sir. API means application programming interface. So what is REST API means? I mean to say REST API is also a framework. It is a Python-based framework. REST API is a Python-based framework which is used to develop the APIs, which is used to develop the APIs. API is nothing but API is a software tool. API is a software tool which enable the web application to communicate with other applications, Yes. So as I mentioned that API is used to provide communication between two or more applications, right? So that's what here API is a software tool which enable the web application to communicate with other applications. So imagine without API software tool, you can't able to communicate with one application to another application. So you know how much it is important in real time to provide the communication between two or more applications to finish our transactions over the web. That's what after completion of Django learning process, once you are ready with your web applications with Django, your web application should be able to communicate with other web applications for making the transaction successful. For that purpose, APIs must and should require. So in Python full stack development, do you want to generate APIs for your web application? Compulsory REST API framework is must. So REST stands for representational state transfer. API means application programming interface. These are the APIs which is used to generate or develop using REST architecture is called REST API. So we are using the architecture called REST architecture. Using this REST architecture, we are going to develop the APIs in Python. That's what we can call it as REST API. So we are just Python full stack developers. That's what we are using this framework like REST API. If you ask the Java full stack developer, they can say RESTful API. If you ask .NET full stack developer, they'll say that Web API. So the subject name is different, but purpose is same. Different full stack people, they are using different frameworks. So we are using REST API framework for creating APIs. APIs will play the crucial role in real time to communicate one application to another application. Because in real time nowadays, application to application communication is very, very important, right? Otherwise, we can't make the transaction successful. And there is another framework is there like Flask. So what is Flask? What is the use of Flask? It is another frame. So Flask is a framework, same like Django, which is used to develop, the single page applications mostly. Single page applications. Flask is a framework which is used to develop the single page applications. See, sir, Django is a framework which is used to develop web applications. But same Flask is also used to develop single page web applications. Same. But using Django, we can develop medium scale as well as large scale applications. Whereas using Flask, we can develop small scale or microservices programmings we can develop. Okay. No, local host based server only we are using, not cloud services. Then Django framework, WSGI, okay, and ASGI servers are there, and local local hosting through. We will discuss all the Django applications. So Flask is a framework which is used to develop single page web application, and Flask is also a Python based framework only. Python based framework. Okay, which can be used to write microservices programming also. Yes, microservices programming we can write using Flask. So it's a small framework. That's what we can say. Flask is a micro frame. Micro frame. So medium scale application also not possible. Only small scale application development purpose we can use Flask. And Flask required only Python. I forgot to mention, to learn REST API, what are the prerequisites required, So Django as well as Python, both are required. As I mentioned, to learn Django, Python is mandatory. To learn REST API, Django as well as Python, both are mandatory. Because REST API need both Python script is required as well as Django web project is required. Both are required, both are already there. Then we can create a API for that applications only. So to learn REST API, Django Python is compulsory. To learn Django, Python is compulsory. To learn Python, nothing is required. Okay. And to learn Flask framework, only Python is because it's a Python script only. We will write all the Flask framework logics with Python script only. It's a Python based another framework like micro framework, which is used to develop mostly single page applications or dashboard applications. And we can also use this Flask framework to write microservices programming. So far, whatever I explained, like 4 subjects, right? Python one subject, Django another subject, Flask another subject, and REST API. Total 4 subjects I explained. So these all 4 subjects are comes into backend development. Even SQLi3, MySQL also comes into backend developments. For example, you can see in full stack development, full stack developer must and should aware both components like front end development, and as well as back-end development. Back-end development. Front-end development means what? Only UI basics like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap comes into front-end development. UI basics. Okay. Because front-end development means what? The moment when customer or client, whoever trying to access our website, what they are going to see on the screen for the first time, that is called front-end development. We almost design front-end development purpose like UI basics only, like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap, right? So UI basics, we are going to learn just for front-end development purpose. So UI design is required, user interface. Like if user wants to log in, we need to provide user interface like labels, text boxes, and buttons. And user wants to register the website, we need to provide complete registration process with user interface. Okay. So that possible with UI basics. HTML is the most commonly used web technology in web development, hypertext markup language. Using HTML, we can design web pages. For that web pages design, do you want to make more look and feel like styling, font size, font color, borders like that? You can apply CSS, cascading style sheets. And JavaScript is very important in web development process, especially to deal with the client side validations. Means whoever the customer is giving the data in the text boxes before going to process or submit to the server, you have to cross verify that data is valid or not. So for validation purpose, most of the cases like client side validation purpose, we use JavaScript. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript are the basic UI technologies, which is mandatory in every web development, not only Python full stack web development, any web development, it is mandatory. But jQuery is an extension. jQuery, Bootstrap are advanced UI technologies, sir. Suppose jQuery is an extension of JavaScript. If I write 10 to 15 lines of code of JavaScript, and if I use jQuery for the same task purpose, only 5 to 6 lines it will be finished. Means simple, jQuery is an extension of JavaScript libraries. So jQuery is nothing but JavaScript libraries only, extension framework. And Bootstrap is most important in web development. Bootstrap is the combination of JavaScript libraries as well as CSS libraries, both together available in Bootstrap. That's what in our Django web development, I'm going to use rapidly Bootstrap only, sir, for making look and feel far better, as well as designing wise, it's good. Bootstrap designing only we are doing. Okay. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap. All this we are going to do this. And next, backend development. This is UI basics only under comes into front-end development. Back-end development in the sense total 3 things will be there, sir. Okay. Yeah. See, Angular, React, Node.js, Vue.js, these are all completely web development frameworks. That means if you want to become a Python full stack web designer, web developer, then we can go for AngularJS. It is an additional subject. What Angular or React will do, we can do with Django only. Okay, that are different cases. Now, backend development process. See, backend development under comes into like backend development. There are 3 subcomponents are there. One is the language. Compulsory backend development code is required. The language is what? Python. Next one is the frameworks. The frameworks. The frameworks. Frameworks. Frameworks are what frameworks we are going to use? Django framework, REST API framework, and then Flask framework, right? Next, the third one is the database. And database purpose, we are using 2 important tools. One is SQLite, which is integrated with Django. Another one is MySQL. These are SQLite and MySQL are 2 databases which we are going to cover in our lectures. So compulsory in full stack development, database is important because where we can store our customer data or client data permanent location, that is called SQLite and MySQL. Database is mandatory. So whenever we set up the Django framework, before going to start development of web applications, all the Django framework by default available integrated with SQLite database. So maximum operations, especially database related operations, we can do with SQLite only. And MySQL is another database. So because you have to claim that you know about database knowledge also. That's what I'm asking you to at least have to know about one database purely, that is MySQL. But it doesn't mean that Django do not support Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, or what we can say, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, any database it's possible. But majority of Python full stack developers, they use what? MySQL database. That's what I'm using, MySQL database. But if you ask the Java full stack developers what database they'll use means, they'll say Oracle only. And if you ask .NET full stack developers what the database means, MS SQL, they can say that. Microsoft SQL. Please mute your audio. Mr. Roshan Jairaj, can you please mute your audio? Yeah. So totally these 3 things under comes into backend development. The language is compulsory. because for coding purpose, purely Python we are going to use for complete coding and logic purpose. The frameworks are required, Django, REST API, Flask, and the database is required, SQL, MySQL. So to become a full stack developer of Python, you must and should have the front-end development knowledge and back-end development knowledge. Here I'm giving clarity. If you once get a job on full stack development of Python, and your role will be decided by your organization. So people may think like that. Once you get a job of full stack development of Python, your role should be in daily like Python, Django. No, initially depends on your skills and depends on the project what they're handling. Based upon that, they'll decide your role. Okay, and based on that role, you have to perform. Why generally most of the company people are hiring full stack developers means once they hire full stack development developers and no need to hire again and again for exclusive developers of Python as well as Django as well as REST API because your resource is enough for them no matter what type of projects they are going to take up in future like Django related, REST API related, Flask related, all the related projects when they take up your resource is enough once they hire you. Again and again, no need to hire the people, especially exclusive Python developers, exclusive Django developers are required. And I mean to say only Python through also you can able to survive, but only Python code. You are the expert of Python means only Python code you have to handle. You can't handle Django, you can't handle REST API, you can't handle other frameworks, right? Once you become full stack developer means you are in a position to handle any subject's code so that your job will be more priority, more secure. Lifespan of your job will be automatically increase if you go through full stack development process. Okay, because in real time nowadays full stack developers are having huge demand. And moreover, along with this Python full stack subjects, I'm going to cover the AI tools also, sir. Okay, because you know that how much it is important, the AI tools understanding in our daily job profile, you know that. Okay, so there are so many AI tools are there already. You people might know that how to do this. Chat GPT, Python, Django, REST API, how to search code in Chat GPT. Okay, Gemini AI. So we are going to cover this searching possibilities with the AI tools also while development of, but it doesn't mean that we are depending completely on AI. So that's not good because once if you depend on AI, then they will give more and more in detail, but you should be in a position to understand the code, what that is generated, right? So that's what I mean to say. We will teach from the scratch every subject like Python, Django, REST API, but whenever it is required, we will show you the searching of Python code and Django code and with the AI tools how to search whenever it is required, situation is demand. That also we will learn, especially popular tools, Chat GPT, Gemini, Perplexity, and this is very important like Claude for data analysis programming like this. These are the AI tools which I'm going to cover. In addition, I'm going to cover some data science or data analysis, data engineering modules. So especially these also we are going to cover NumPy, numerical Python, okay, NumPy, numerical Python, and also Pandas, Python data analysis, Matplotlib, mathematical plotting libraries, and Seaborn. Seaborn in the sense this is also related to data analysis. These are all additionally we are going to cover libraries. This is data science or data analysis modules, and these are AI tools through also. I'm going to cover all these subjects. So total, this is just a basic introduction which I covered today. Okay, what are the subjects need to be learned in Python full stack development, and each and every subject purpose also I clearly mention it, explain it. Okay. And you have a total 4 demo lectures, sir. Okay. Including today. Today is done. And next 3 more demo lectures you can feel free to attend by using the same link. And after completion of demo lectures only, you can take the decision if you really wish to continue my lectures. Okay. And you can continue by enrolling this course. And if you don't want to continue after 4 demos, you can skip. You can go through any other options what we have, no problem. But ultimately, I can say that if you enroll for this course after demos, At the end of the day, you will not disappoint because I'll take care of your things and everything. And even in the middle, we will try to give exercise programs, assignment programs, and we will send the test question papers also to your mail. You have to attempt your exams as your own. Later, we will disclose the key answer sheet also to send to your mail. This all assignments and exercise. I'll try to make you busy in the process of learning with Python and Django, REST API are all subjects only, sir. Okay. Yes. Testing people's, I don't recommend Django framework, REST API, other things. Only you just go for Python. That's enough. But we will not cover testing libraries, sir, because we don't know about testing libraries, right? My part is how to handle the code with Python. And once you are become a good at Python, you can go with your testing libraries. Then there you will be in a position to write any logic with testing also. Because most of the people like who are looking for DevOps, AWS, data science, okay, data analysis, they must require Python compulsory. But it doesn't mean it means that I have to handle with all AWS DevOps like that. Their part they'll teach completely. But my part is completely. I'll try to make you in a good position to write the Python code and Python script. Okay. So that's all from my side today. This is just consider a basic demonstration. So from tomorrow onwards, I'll focus completely on Python because no matter you are only exclusive Python developer or full stack developer, compulsory you have to learn Python first 50 to 60 days. Once you become good at Python, then it will be good for start with Django REST API and all. Because without having Python skills, you can't go for Django REST API, Flask, all these things, right? So do you have any question? You can feel free to ask me. I'll answer. Yeah, proceed. You can proceed or else you can type your question in chat box. I'll answer it. Okay.
May I, sir? Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
So my question is after completion of like this type of the course that you have said, will we create any demo project or so that
Obviously. I forgot to mention that in the Django REST API point of view, we will cover 3 to 4 hands-on projects that we can claim in your resume as a fresher.
okay, right, sir.
Yes,
Thank you.
for sure. That project development must be there. By covering all the topics which I discuss in the class, we will implement the project so that you will get real-time hands-on experience. So real-time coding scenarios, I'll explain.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks for attending this session. Have a nice time. See you tomorrow. Please feel free to continue the demo lectures, 3 more demos. So then only you will get clarity. Once you get clarity, then you can decide it. Okay. Feel free to take the decision. No hurry. Placement support, any jobs we will find out. Our team, DurgaSoft team, will keep on touch with you, but not guarantee program, right? So if any placements come to the picture, then our students will be the highest priority. Yes, that preparation and interview questions and everything, we will send the PDF, no problem. Yes. The everyday session time is 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. This is the first demo session. That's what I'm closing a little bit early. But please attend tomorrow and day after tomorrow and one more session, like total 3 demo lectures are there still. You can attend so that you will get clarity. Tomorrow, I'm giving complete introduction of Python and installation process also will begin as soon as possible. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow.